Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is a 646 Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I put onto YouTube. Straight away you'll see that it's fought on a flat desert map, and it's got the potential to be a really cracking battle, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member FIRSTPRIME. Now he's got 14 infantry and 6 cavalry, but not quite the bog standard 31k Roman army, as he has incorporated an eagle unit into his army. Okay, so he's got an eagle unit for extra morale plus his infantry general. So that's all going to give both those units are going to give those the rest of his infantry a good lot of morale there. So that's an interesting army build. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member MANTU, who has unusually bought the Greek cities faction. Now MANTU has got 12 Spartans, 5 slingers, and 2 fast-moving cavalry units there. Okay, so it's unusual to see Rhodian slingers being brought to a Greek city's army. It's usually Cretan archers. So he's got 5 Rhodian slingers there, and as I say, he's got 2 fast-moving missile cavalry there. You're the militia cavalry. They throw like small little javelins. They can be a nuisance to enemy troops. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does with those there. So I think that's an interesting Greek cities army build. As I say, he doesn't bring Greek cities very often, so it's kind of probably an experimental army. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Earth. Now Earth has just got 9 infantry, 5 archers and 5 cavalry. Okay, just 9 infantry. Very small amount of infantry for the modern day battlefield, I feel. But here you can see that he's got 2 eagle units. Okay, so he's given a lot of morale to his 9 infantry units there. Okay, and those eagle units can make a big difference during the course of the battle. If you notice, the upgrades on his infantry are just gold shield, gold attack. Okay, but with those 2 eagle units, they're getting a lot of morale anyway without an experienced stripe on. So that tells me that he spent his money on his cavalry. If we look at his cavalry there you go, you can see he's got 8 upgrades, 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack. And when you put those type of upgrades on this Praetorian cavalry, it takes out of the elite cavalry bracket into the super cavalry bracket. You'll be surprised how much difference that makes to this cavalry with those 2 stripes. So that's Earth's army. Really good upgraded cavalry, but only 9 infantry. We just have to see if that's going to be enough for this particular battle. Okay, our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got his very old Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry there. Okay, so there's our team. It's got the potential to be an absolutely cracking battle, and I hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member MADKING. Now MADKING has got the bog standard Roman 31k Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. And remember, that's the bog standard 31k Roman army because it's so effective and so efficient. That's why most people bring this particular Roman army for 31k battle. That's why it's the bog standard 31k Roman army. Okay, their next teammate is RTW player SURENA. Now SURENA has got 12 infantry, 4 slingers and 4 cavalry. Okay, so 12 sacred band spearmen, 4 slingers and 4 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry there. There you are. That's the Balearic slingers. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and oh my gosh, he's got 8 upgrades on his sacred band cavalry. Remember, sacred band cavalry is an elite cavalry, so with 2 experience stripes on it, that kind of makes it super cavalry. So it'll be interesting to see how well SURENA uses that well upgraded cavalry during the course of the battle. So I think that's a pretty good balanced Carthage army there, with the slingers, the cavalry and the spearmen. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Get Jacked. Now Get Jacked has got 15 infantry, 2 archers and 3 cavalry. Okay, now he's got an unusual army build here that I think you might find quite interesting. If you notice amongst his army, he has got one eagle unit there, 2, another eagle unit there, and 3. He's got 3 eagle units in his army. Okay, very unusual to see 3 eagle units in an army there, so just think of the morale he's getting there. Then he's got the old school armoured cavalry general there as well. Okay, so that's, as I say, many years ago, that used to be all of our generals before we switched to an infantry general. So I think that's an interesting army, but only 3 cavalry included in the general. Will that be enough? I guess we'll have to see. And their last teammate is RTW player FLAMMA. Now FLAMMA has got 10 infantry, 4 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, and I think FLAMMA's infantry's got mixed upgrades on. If we have a look there, there you are. You can see that some of his units have got 7 upgrades on: an experienced stripe, gold shield, gold attack. I think that line of infantry have all got 7 upgrades on, and these 3 units here have just got 6 upgrades on: gold shield, gold attack. I think that's quite an unusual battle formation there, what he's got. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. So now count that, 1, 2, 3. He's got 8 upgrades on his cavalry, 2 experienced stripes, gold shield, gold attack on FLAMMA's cavalry. Okay, so as I say, and look at that, the leader of that particular cavalry unit looking back at his men saying, "Keep close, guys, as we charge." So there you go, that's FLAMMA's army there. As I say, an interesting army formation there. So there's the 2 teams. It's got the potential to be an absolutely cracking battle, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a look at Earth's Roman battle formation here. And as you can see, a very modern, new way of using the Roman battle formation there, with his archers in the front there. And you can see a very open battle formation there, making the most of the flexibility and maneuverability of Roman units there. So I think it's nice to see that. I mean, bearing in mind Rome Total War is 17 years old, and we still use new battle formations, new armies, new tactics. Look at the old school battle formation of mine. Very old fashioned, very old school, maybe out of date now. That could well be. But as I say, it just goes to show the longevity of Rome Total War. How, you know, even after 17 years, you still come up with new battle formations, new tactics, you know, new army builds. I just think it's just goes to show what a great game Rome Total War is. And as I say, any ex-players that watch this, our battle videos, please come back and have some new games with us. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you can see Mad King's Brute army moving towards Mantu's Rhodian slingers there. Rhodian slingers look a little bit isolated to me, and I think Mad King's cavalry could have a good killing here of those Rhodian slingers. There you can see one of Mad King's cavalry units like a bang, and it smashed into one of those Rhodian slinger units. He's got another unit going into those Rhodian slingers there. So, as I say, the Rhodian slingers were a little bit isolated and away from cavalry support here. And Mad King spotted that straight away, look, and has managed to attack 2 of those units there. I see Mantu's brought over those light militia missile cavalry there to try and help his slingers out there, but I think it's a bit too late now. I think those slinger units will be taken out, I think. Okay, as we move up the battle line here, you can see that FIRSTPRIME is taking his cavalry over now to try and help with the enemy Brutii cavalry. You can see that FIRSTPRIME has brought his Scipii army and has merged it with Mantu's Greek cities. Now over here on the left flank, I want to show you this. As we saw with Earth's battle formation there, he likes to fight an expansive battle out on the left flank. So that's what he's going to do. We're swapping positions here. He's going to take his army onto the left flank, as I say, to fight an expansive battle there on the left flank with that battle formation there, showing the flexibility of the Roman units there. And as you can see, I'm moving back into the left centre there. So we're doing a bit of a swap position there. As I say, Earth's pretty good on the flank. He likes to fight on the flank. As I say, he usually likes to fight an expansive, aggressive battle on the flank there. As I say, looking at his battle formation there, he's going to use the make the most of the flexibility and maneuverability of those Roman units on that left flank. And I'm quite happy to sit on the left centre here. Looks like I'm going to be facing Get Jacked there. And as we move up further up the battle line here, you can see that Mad King's Brutii cavalry he's moving his infantry forward here, and you can see he's doing kind of like a flanking action on FIRSTPRIME, but FIRSTPRIME is now moving his infantry over to the right flank there a little bit more. But over here on the far right flank, you will see that Mad King's Brutii cavalry is chasing down FIRSTPRIME's Scipii cavalry there. Over here you can see there's already a bit of a scrap going on between FIRSTPRIME, one of FIRSTPRIME's cavalry units, and 2 of the Brutii units. You can see that the Greek city's generals brought his militia cavalry in there, like bang, he's auto-attacked them there. But they are only light cavalry, so I'm not sure how long they'd last there fighting there. They are routed already. As I say, you can see First Prime bringing his cavalry over here. The bulk of his cavalry look to help. His one unit has just been taken out, and now they're going to charge into his Scipii cavalry with those two victorious cavalry units there, and that other lot of Brutii cavalry is probably going to smash into his rear there. Can you see that? That's just exactly what Mad King is going to do. So here now you can see something unusual, I thought here. I think that Mad King's cavalry is quite annoyed First Prime, but let's move over to the left here first. As you can see here, I'm moving towards Get Jacked with my infantry there, and you can see that Earth is, as I say, doing a left flanking action there with his SBQR troops there. As you move along the battle line there, you'll see that let's say MANTU is facing SURENA's Carthage Sacred Band units there. Okay, so you can see that as well. But over here, as I say, on the right flank, something very unusual here. You can see that First Prime is running out to the far right flank to support his cavalry. I think that Brutii cavalry must have annoyed him so much. And as you can see, look, he ran his army so close to Mad King's Brutii forces. Look, Mad King was just throwing pilers into First Prime's infantry as he was running in front of his army. Look at the casualties he suffered just from Mad King's pilers there, as he's running all his infantry over to the right flank to support his cavalry. So the only reason I think he's doing it, he must have been very annoyed by that Brutii cavalry for him to take all his infantry over there. But of course, as he's running away from his Greek cities ally there to support his cavalry, look at the gap between his Greek cities and the his allies there. Now, if the Carthage Sacred Band move in and hold and pin his Greek cities, okay, so imagine those as SURENA brings in his Carthage Sacred Band to hold and pin the Greek cities, then Mad King comes round the rear there with his Brutii army. Poor old MANTU is going to be in a lot of trouble there. Okay, so as I say there, that could be a good enemy tactic there. Carthage run forward, hold and pin. Brutii gets round the flank. And as I say, look how First Prime is running his infantry over all the way to that far right flank there to help his cavalry out, leaving, look at the gap between him and MANTU. And he's moving away all the time there towards his own cavalry. But just look at that gap there. Very, very unusual of First Prime to do that. And Mad King probably can't believe his luck here. Look, he's now going to get in behind poor old MANTU. And as I say, if MANTU's held at the front by the Carthaginians, he's going to be in real trouble. Look at First Prime. And of course, you know, running in the desert, under the hot sun in the desert in this game, your troops get more tired than they do on other maps. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over there on that left flank. But as I say, look, you can see that, look how far away First Prime is now from MANTU. I mean, he's a long, long way here, and you can see the Carthaginian generals starting to think about moving forward there. As I say, if he ran forward quickly, there, as I say, there, let's see, he got his 12 Carthage Sacred Band units there. If he ran forward quickly, held and pinned the forward units of MANTU's Spartan army there, okay, this is what I was thought the team would be thinking there, and then, there you go, Mad King brings his Brutii army in behind MANTU there, look, and MANTU's had it. Look how far away First Prime is. Look, I mean, he's not going to get back in time if Mad King and SURENA move fast enough there. Okay, he's just not going to get back in time to save MANTU. So basically, if MANTU switched on here, he'll move his infantry back. He'll see what the enemy are planning, and my guess is he'll move his infantry back there to stop himself being caught in that trap. But as I say, I'm surprised here. The enemy team very slow here. Very, very slow. If they move quickly, they will actually trap MANTU. Well, First Prime's so far away, but they just seem to be very slow. They're just starting to get moving now, look. And as I say, when I watched this battle replay, I just couldn't believe how kind of slow they were in actually, if you like, trapping MANTU's Spartans there. So, as I say, the best thing I think MANTU can do here is to back his Spartans off, not to let himself get trapped between the Carthaginians and Mad King's Brutii troops. But as I say, they seem to me to take a long time to react to the situation there. So as I say, the best thing for MANTU to do here, up spears and pull back as quick as he can before he gets trapped, and that's exactly what it looks like he's doing. Right, let's pause the game for a second here. So that's what he's going to do there, I think. Before the Carthaginians can hold and pin him, before Mad King can actually hit him, he's going to move back. Now over on the far right flank, you'll see now FIRSTPRIME is now running from that flank back over to the centre now, look. Okay, but he's still a long way away, and of course, like I say, running on a desert map with the hot sun and the sand, it tires your troops out even more than it would on normal maps. So his troops could well be very tired or exhausted by the time they get over to this part of the battlefield. Okay, but here you can see MANTU backing his Spartans off. The right thing to do here. Hopefully he's going to save the bulk of his army if he keeps running there before the Carthaginians can actually get him. And also Mad King's obviously Brutii army there. Look. I think FLAMMA's cavalry is over here as well. There you can see, I think, yeah, here goes FLAMMA's cavalry. And you can see MANTU, I think, is sacrificing those 2 Spartan units to try and hold the enemy team up there, as he actually runs the rest of his units away from that particular position there. He's lost 2 of his Spartan units there. Now they're big enough to rally, but I got a feeling the enemy troops will chase them down and won't let them rally there. Okay, so as I say, those 2 units there, FLAMMA's cavalry is going to chase them down, probably won't let them rally. As you can see, FIRSTPRIME Scipii infantry is moving over from that far right flank all the time, trying to come over to help MANTU there. But as I say, MANTU did the right thing in backing his Spartans off there, not allowing them to be trapped by the enemy Brutii or Carthage there. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I say, I think MANTU lost 2 of his Spartan units there, but he sacrificed those to hold the enemy up while he moved the rest of his army away. Here you can see Get Jacked moving his Julia army over there. He might use it as a screening force against myself and Earth. Now at the back here you can see FLAMMA moving his Brutii army over here. He's a long way away from the actual battle, isn't he? I was just, when I watched the battle replay, I thought, well, he seems to be quite a long way away. In fact, he's almost as far away from the battle as FIRSTPRIME there. So if he had been closer, those numbers of his armies might have told a little bit more there. But as I say, you can see FIRSTPRIME running over as fast as he can to get back to the battle. Might hit into the rear of Mad King's Brutii army, maybe. But here, as I say, you can see MANTU's Greek cities there. Now, whether he's going to hit the enemy Brutii infantry or Carthage, not sure there. But as I say, you can see Get Jacked. I believe he had 15 infantry. Get Jacked did his Julii infantry there, so he may well use that as kind of a blocking force against myself and Earth, allowing his 2 allies to try and take out MANTU's Greek cities. We just have to see what's going on here. You can see I'm moving my Scipii army towards Get Jack's Julii army there. My guess is there'll be a bit of pilot exchanging going on there between our 2 armies. There you can see a lot of pilots being thrown in there from both the armies there. Lots of pilot exchanging going on. As I say, I think he had 15 infantry, including, I think it was 3 Eagle units. So he's got a heck of a lot of pilots to be able to throw into my forward units there. Okay, you can see he's doing a flanking action with a few of his Julii units. Now here you can see Earth taking his SBQR cavalry over there, like a bang, as he's charging into the enemy Brutii units. Can you see what unit he's going for though? Nice tactical hit there. Okay, you can see he was going for the Brutii general. Right now here you can see Mad King has run, FIRSTPRIME has ran all the way over from the other flank. His troops are very tired, like 1 step off of exhausted. Okay, so we know that battle proficiency of his troops will be extremely low. His morale will be extremely low when he gets to very tired. And if he hits actually exhausted, well, his troops will almost be useless fighting there, and they could be very susceptible to routing. But this is what I was showing you here. You can see Earth's SBQR cavalry charging into Mad King's general. Make no mistake, this was a surgical hit here by Earth. You saw Mad King's general a little bit exposed, so he's going to charge his well upgraded cavalry into that unit there, hoping to take out Mad King's general. There you can see MANTU running his Greek cities forward into Mad King's Brutii army there. Okay, so as I said earlier here, you can see that the Julii generals trying to get units around my flank. You can see there that Earth is facing the Julii troops there as well. But here you can see FLAMMA's Brutia. Look how far away they are from the battle. I mean, what could they smash into Earth's SBQR troops? Is that what he's thinking there? Or is he going to go over and hit FIRSTPRIME Scipii troops? But he is a long way away from the battle there. I thought he would have closed up and got a little bit closer to the actual battle by this stage. Okay, so here you can see that Get Jacked is moving some of his Julii troops, as I said earlier, around the flank of my battle formation there. But by doing that, he's actually showing his flank of those troops he's moved around there to my cavalry. Now, I need to move my cavalry a little bit here, and I think that I could probably do a lot of damage to that enemy Julii army there. Okay, so as I say, it looks to me like Get Jacked with his Julii army is using his army as a blocking force against myself and Earth, allowing his allies to try and take out either MANTU's army or FIRSTPRIME's army there. Okay, so as I say, here you can see that FIRSTPRIME's finally come back into the battle here and is attacking some of MADKING's Brutia units there. Okay, so there's a bit of pilot exchanging going on there between the two armies. Okay, but as I say, FIRSTPRIME's army is either tired or very tired, so their battle proficiency will be extremely low. You can see MADKING here is engaging MANTU's Greek city units, but SURENA could well bring his Carthage Sacred Band into the battle there as well, behind MANTU's infantry. Okay, so make no mistake here, Get Jacked is being the blocking force here against me and Earth, allowing his allies to attack our tired allies at the rear there. Okay, but as I say, you can see Get Jacked there attacking my units there with his Julii troops, but I got my cavalry locked and loaded, and if I go in at the right angle here, I could well do a lot of damage to Get Jacked's Julii army. Right, here we go. See my cavalry charging there, get ready for this. And bang, as we smash in there. Going to take out, I think the impact of my cavalry there is going to take out a lot of those Julii units, as you can see, as I power on through with my cavalry there, causing as much damage and route as many units of those Julii infantry as I can with my cavalry there. So I've done a lot of damage there to Get Jacked's attacking infantry. Okay, and just to show you here, can you see, do you notice anything about Earth's army and Get Jacked's army at this particular position? Neither of them have got a pilot shield unit in front of their main battle formation. Okay, remember we have open order units in front of our main battle formation because they suffer less casualties from missile damage, but both of them here have got their units in tight close order, so they're both going to suffer a lot of damage from pilot hits there. Okay, so as I say, unusual not to have pilot shield units in front of their battle formations there. Meanwhile, over here you can see that Earth's cavalry is in a tussle with the Carthaginian cavalry there, but the Praetorian cavalry on average will beat Carthage Sacred Band cavalry. Meanwhile, over here you can see that SURENA has got his Sacred Band spearmen really pushing in to the Greek city units there. Look at that, it's a really intense battle there. And as I say, MADKING's Brutia army is now engaging FIRSTPRIME's Scipii army there, and you can see that SURENA's got a couple of his Carthage Sacred Band units in there helping as well. And at the rear here, FLAMMA still hasn't arrived with his infantry yet. Still kind of hanging at the back there. Now, I still don't know which direction he's going to go in. Is he going to go for Earth's SBQR units, or is he going to take all his infantry over and try and hit FIRSTPRIME in the rear? I'm not really sure which way he's going to go yet with his army. But between me and Earth here, we've done a lot of damage to Get Jacked's infantry there, and Get Jacked now is doing the right thing, I think, pulling what's left of his infantry back over to his allies. He's done a good job at holding us there. If you look, he's really held me and Earth up quite a lot there. But here you can see FLAMMA's cavalry going to charge into FIRSTPRIME's infantry there. Get ready for this. This could well be a telling cavalry charge here. And bang, as he smashes in there. Look at the impact and penetration in the FIRSTPRIME's army. In fact, I think FIRSTPRIME has done well to hold there against that cavalry attack, bearing in mind that most of his troops now have reached the exhausted stage. I thought that might have caused a mass rout there. And as you can see here, I was going to charge my cavalry over to help him there, but my cavalry has been intercepted by the enemy Julii infantry there, so the best thing for me to pull my cavalry back. MANTU was trying to fight his way over to First Prime with his Greek cities. If you notice there, good teamwork there. You can see though that Get Jacked is bringing his Julii infantry over to attack First Prime's infantry as well. Okay, so obviously First Prime is the target here for the enemy troops here. So you can see First Prime fighting in all directions. MANTU has done a good job at fighting over to try and help him there, getting to him to help his troops there. And if they can actually sandwich Mad King's general between them, that would be a really good thing for them to do. The Carthage Sacred Band is coming in behind MANTU there. As I say, you got Get Jack's Julii infantry pressurising First Prime's infantry. You've got Mad King's Brutii infantry pushing in there, plus you've got Carthage Sacred Band in behind First Prime. You've got FLAMMA's Brutii cavalry smashing in there, plus it looks to me like FLAMMA's decided to bring his infantry over to attack, plus he's shooting fire arrows into the back of First Prime's infantry. So really and truthfully, I think First Prime is doing extremely well, bearing in mind I think most of his troops are now in an exhausted state. Okay, so myself and Earth now have got to get over to our allies as fast as we can. As I say, Get Jack did a good job of blocking us both there, allowing his allies to really soften up and attack our allies, so we've got to get over there as fast as we can now. Okay, you can see SURENA's Carthage Sacred Band really pushing in there. I think our Greek city's allies just lost his general as well. Yeah, his general's just been taken out by those Carthage Sacred Band units. And as I say, there's a lot going on here. And as I say, I think First Prime's Scipii units have held extremely well. But I can see that enemy Brutii infantry coming in behind him. As I say, there's a couple of Sacred Band spearmen in behind his fighting infantry as well. And his units are starting to break now. Okay, you can see that. I'm pushing in with my infantry there against the enemy Julii troops, as you can see. But once again, look, Get Jack's got over to his allies and then turned his army to face us. Once again, trying to block us, look, from getting to his allies there. But you might notice here that I'm charging my cavalry in at an angle here. Can you see the angle that my cavalry's going in there? And bang, as they smash in there. Some enemy Brutii infantry tried to neutralise some of my cavalry units there. Look, but I've smashed on through, charged in to the enemy units there. Okay, so at the back here you'll see, unfortunately, First Prime's general has just been taken out. Okay, so I think he needed that general there to give the morale to his troops. A lot of his Scipii troops have now been routed. A lot of MANTU's troops, in fact MANTU's just got 2 units left. So basically there, I think most of First Prime's army and most of MANTU's army has now been taken out. FLAMMA's got his cavalry ready to charge him there. So as you can see there, things not looking very good for First Prime or MANTU, and now they can turn those victorious troops onto myself and Earth's infantry. Look at my cavalry penetrating deep into the enemy ranks there, causing rout, and the units I haven't routed would have been severely damaged there by the cavalry hit there. So what I'm going to do now is pull my cavalry out of that situation now. I've done what I wanted to with my cavalry. I need to pull them out there, especially as those Sacred Band spearmen are moving in on me as well. And you can see Earth here moving his SBQR units forward as well there. Okay, so at this stage I think all of MANTU's army, or he might have 1 unit left, has been taken out. And I think there also that First Prime's army has been taken out as well. This is a nice move by Earth. You notice here he's brought his 2 Eagle units over. He's not throwing him into the fray, but he's holding them there to give morale bonus to my troops as those Carthaginians and Brutii troops push into my battle formation. Okay, so that's a nice bit of teamwork there by Earth, knowing the importance of morale. And as you can see here, I'm moving my cavalry out of the fray now, especially, as I say, those Carthage Sacred Band have moved in. But I say, I think MANTU's got 1 unit left. I think he's got 1 of his Spartan units left there. Yeah, he's got 1 unit left, but only with what, 18 men left in it. So my guess is that unit are probably, they are routed. So MANTU now has lost all of his Greek city's army. Okay, he's got none of his Greek city's army left. They have now been routed. Okay, as you can see. So that's bad news for us, and I believe First Prime has just got 3 units left there. 25 men in that unit, 50 men, that's good, 28 men. So he's still got a lot of men left in the units, but he's only got 3 units left. okay, as the enemy press in on our troops there. You can see I've got my battle formation there taking the main attack from the enemy troops there. And I say it's a good move here by Earth. You can see him throwing pilers into those Carthaginians and Brutii troops there. And as I say, keeping those 2 Eagle units there, giving them morale bonus to my troops there, helping them to fight longer against this hit coming in on me from those Carthaginians there. So nice bit of movement there by Earth. As I say, you can see those Carthage Sacred Bands starting to push into the right side of my battle formation. Okay, you can see them making inroads into my infantry there, really pushing in. But remember that as I say, fighting in the desert on the sand and under the hot sun does tire people's troops out a lot quicker than it does on other maps. So those Carthaginians have been fighting for a long time now, so I'm guessing they're they could be getting a bit tired there. You can see my Scipii cavalry here attacking the enemy Brutii archers, and over here you can see as I say, the Carthaginians making inroads into the right side of my battle formation. Look how they're forcing my units back. Look how they're killing my troops there with their advancing forward onto my troops all the time. As I say, I've got Earth's SBQR units there. He'll probably throw those in when he feels that he needs to. One of his Eagle units there that has become engaged, he's throwing another Eagle unit in there. So he's doing well. It wouldn't surprise me if he took some of his urban cohorts in behind those advanced Carthage Sacred Band troops. But here you can see the enemy Brutii troops attacking the forward units of my battle formation as well. Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second here. So what I like to do is grab these 3 units and charge them into the flank of those attacking Carthaginians, okay? But I know there's Brutii units there, and if I move my units over to attack there, I got a feeling those Brutii units would come in behind my attacking troops and smash into the rear of my engaged troops. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave those units there to counter those Brutii troops if they try moving forward. Okay, but if you notice here, can you see the Carthaginians here? If you look at them, you'll notice that they are tired. Some of their units are very tired. So I know that their morale is going to be low. Okay, you can see very tired there. Even though they're pushing in to our units there. And as I say, nice move here by Earth. He's getting his urban cohorts in behind them there. So if you notice there, those Carthage Sacred Band troops are now surrounded, basically surrounded there, by Earth's SBQR infantry. Okay, and my Scipii troops there. Okay, and they're very tired. So what I'm thinking here is a jolt, or all of a sudden a hit into those units could cause a mass rout. Okay, you can see the enemy Brutii soldiers attacking the forward units of my battle formation here, but it's the Carthage units that are causing us some real trouble. They're kind of carving through us, but as I say, they're very tired. Look. So don't forget, when a unit's very tired, its battle proficiency is really poor and its morale is very low. And like I said, a jolt or a sudden impact could cause a mass rout amongst very tired troops. Okay, as I say, we're pressing on them on all sides as well. So as I say, their morale will be very, very low with them being very tired and surrounded. So I've got my battle damaged cavalry out here. Okay, you can see 14 men in that unit there. So what's that, 28 men in that unit, 18 men in that unit, 41 men in that unit, 41 man out. So I've still got quite powerful cavalry left there, even though they're battle damaged. And what I'm looking to do is to smash into the rear of those Carthaginians there. Now I did notice, as I say, that they are very tired. So as I said to you before, a sudden impact into these troops could well cause a mass rout, and that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to smash through my allies' SBQR troops, aiming for this forward unit here, so my cavalry hopefully will smash through those Carthaginians. I must be aware of this Brutii infantry. If they see me coming in with my cavalry, they may well run units across to try and neutralise my cavalry charge, but I'm going to take a chance on that, as I see they're engaged already. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to charge my cavalry in here, and hoping that the sudden impact of these 6 cavalry units smashing into that back into the back of that very tired Carthage Sacred Band infantry would cause a mass rout. Okay, that's what I'm hoping for. Now, will the enemy Brutio troops try and hold me? Right, you can see one of the Brutio units coming out to try and block my cavalry charge, but I'm still charging forward, still moving forward. You can see the other Brutio units trying to catch my cavalry, but I'm still charging forward. They're in wedge formation, more impact, more penetration there as it charges through, and bang, as I smash into the rear of that very tired Carthage Sacred Band infantry. Look at the impact of that cavalry. Look how those very tired Sacred Band spearmen there have now routed en masse. So that sudden impact of that cavalry, with all our infantry pressing in on them as well at the same time, caused a mass rout there. You see a lot of enemy Brutio units have routed as well there. As I say, it kind of was a mass rout. I now can send some more of my units in there just to help finish off those Carthage Sacred Band troops there. So as I say, you can see us all pushing in there just to make sure we're just kind of finishing them off there. There, our Mantu's got his militia unit there. It's exhausted, but he's going to charge that in as well. And I think he's got a Spartan unit there as well. I think let's pause the game for a second. So there you are. You can see Mantu's got one Spartan unit left and one militia cavalry unit, rallied units that have come back into the fray. FIRSTPRIME, say he's got three very battle damaged units left there. So I think he's done well to have those 3 units left, bearing in mind how he was hit earlier on by all those enemy troops there. So as I say there, you can see there that our team has managed to go on to win the battle. It's not that spread out a battle, actually. I think it is very, very kind of quite contained in a smallish area, if you like, here. But here you are, you can see the dead here from that one flank over across here. As I say, the Spartan dead always seem to stick out with those red cloaks that they wear. We go across the battlefield here, and here you can see where there's very intense fighting here by the amount of dead, both cavalry and infantry there. So as I say, it was a very intense battle there. As I say, our team seems to have managed to go on to win the battle. I think there's just a couple of enemy units left there. You can see just a couple of Brutio units left, of FLAMMAs there. There are 2 units left there, so we better charge there to just to finish off the last 2 units. Throwing pilers into us, look. Still being aggressive even at this stage of the battle, look, throwing the pilers, and then probably going to follow that up with a charge, which we will counter charge there, look. So there you go, you can see us charging in there, and I think those 2 Brutio units will kind of rout quite easily as we kind of roll over them with just sheer numbers there. Let's say you've got one Brutio unit there still fighting, but there you go, that's routed as well there. So as I say, I always think at this stage of the battle, like we've said in lots of other battle videos, once the battle looks like it's lost, let's just all the enemy team that have lost, just admit defeat, and let's get into the lobby and get a new game going there. So as I say, you still got 1 unit left, 1 Brutio unit left of FLAMMAs, look. So let's go into triple speed there just to finish off this last unit. My guess is it just gets hit. There you are, it's routed there, so that should be the last of the enemy units there. So just to say, there, really well played to everybody in the game. Really well played, guys. I thought it was a great battle there, and I was quite surprised to see it was an average victory. I thought maybe it might have been a close victory there, so it must have just edged its way up into average. Highest kills in the game goes to Brotherhood member Earth, 2,097. Now remember that Earth only had 9 infantry, 5 archers and 5 cavalry. Okay, and yet he still got the highest kills in the game there. So well done to Earth. Thought he did really well there. So well done to MADKING. Got some really good kills with his army and must have annoyed FIRSTPRIME absolutely mad with his cavalry. Well done to SURENA with his Carthage Sacred Band. 1,629 great kills there with those Sacred Band troops. Well done to Get Jacked. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he was a really good blocking force that nearly tipped the battle there. So well done to him, and well done to FLAMMA. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there. But he did seem to hold his army back a little bit, maybe a little bit too long. You can see that old army of mine managed to get the second highest kills in the game, over 2,000, so I'm quite pleased with the way that old army performed on the modern battlefield. Well done to FIRSTPRIME, probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but to get 820 with the situation that he was in, I think he still did well there with kills, so well done to FIRSTPRIME. As I say, well done to Earth, highest kills in the game there. Even with the small army he had, still did extremely well. So, as I say, really well done. And well done to MANTU. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there with his Greek cities, but he kind of was caught out a little bit there on his flank when FIRSTPRIME kind of chased after his cavalry with all his infantry there. So I hope you enjoyed this battle. If you did, please leave a comment or a thumbs up. It's always nice to read what you think about our battles. Always gives us a bit more encouragement to keep posting them for you. Okay, Spartan Commander saying bye for now and see you soon.